Try making too woke be a cancelable offense. It's important for America to have a center-left party, and for that party to be competitive. And a good first step toward that goal would be to make the voters not want to punch you in the face. The reason I'm so mad at the Democrats is because as a voter, the issues that were important to me were democracy and the environment. And now, there's no one to champion or defend either of them because you, with your aggressively anti-common sense agenda and shitty exclusionary attitude, blew it. You lost everything.
If there's one thing that will send the Twitter brigade into meltdown mode faster than you can say pronouns in bio, it's when someone from their own side calls them out. And folks, that's exactly what Bill Maher just did. And it was brutal. Not only did he torch the woke left, he salted the earth afterwards. The man didn't just ruffle feathers, he plucked the entire chicken, deep-fried it, and served it with a side of I told you so. The best part? He's not even some right-wing firebrand. He's a self-proclaimed leftist, which makes the sting 10 times worse for the people who usually expect him to be in their corner. This wasn't a polite, maybe we should reconsider some messaging critique. This was the comedic equivalent of a Mike Tyson uppercut aimed straight at the Democrats' glass jaw.
My message to the losers: losers, look in the mirror. No? Well, maybe you should. Sorry. Well, that's my feeling. Losers, look in the mirror, okay? You know, yeah. I mean, for months, Democrats have been saying, how is this even close? And they're right, it wasn't.
Now, Bill Maher's message was simple. Stop blaming everyone else for losing and start looking in the mirror. And honestly, that's the kind of blunt reality check the left hasn't just avoided, they've practically declared it a hate crime. For months now, Democrats have been asking, how could this race have been so close? According to Maher, it wasn't close at all. Donald Trump didn't just win, he ran the table. All the swing states, every single one. He didn't squeak by, he took them like a thief in the night who left a thank you note on the kitchen counter. And instead of doing the obvious thing, asking what went wrong, the left turned into an industrial-sized excuse factory.
Conceive of a second Trump term, but they should have. When does America ever turn down second? I mean, come on. Look, these are just the facts. It's just the facts. Trump won all the swing states, all 7. I mean, he ran the table. Trump won so big. Today he called the Secretary of State in Georgia and he asked him to lose him 11,000.
Russia, misinformation, the media, racist voters, sexist voters, bad weather, Mercury in retrograde, you name it, they blamed it. Everyone except themselves. But here's where Maher flipped the script. They expected him to join the pile-on against Trump, throw in a few orange man bad one-liners, and keep the progressive comedy club happy. Instead, he told them flat out, the problem is you. And that went down about as well as a vegan being handed a medium rare steak. He roasted the Democrats for being blindsided by Trump's second run. He even joked, when does America ever turn down seconds? We gave Fast and Furious 10 movies. You thought voters were going to say no to another round of Trump.
No, he has an amazing coalition. He kept the old crowd that likes him. He got a lot of new voters. He got a lot of people who say they just want to see what he'll do. I call this the get the cat high vote.
But the real dagger. Maher pointed out something no one on the left wanted to hear. Trump didn't just keep his base, he grew it. He pulled in new voters. Meanwhile, Democrats seemed to be running a contest to see how many supporters they could alienate before Election Day. Spoiler alert, they won that contest. Joe Biden came into office with a solid win, promising to restore the soul of America. But just 2 years later, nearly half of his 2020 voters had already jumped ship.
Better, like in every demographic. The exit poll said he grabbed 52% of white women. He also got their vote. Yeah. We're gonna keep doing jokes here.
We're not talking about random nobodies leaving either. High-profile figures like Joe Rogan and Elon Musk publicly said, "Yeah, we're done with this." Even Robert F. Kennedy Jr., once considered a Democratic darling, walked away entirely, disgusted by how deep into woke politics the party had sunk. While Trump was shoring up his base and pulling in fresh faces, the Democrats were practically chasing voters out the door with the subtlety of a fire alarm. And the numbers didn't lie. 52% of white women voted for Trump. 52.
Completely lost the ability to speak truth to bullshit. The Democratic polling firm Blueprint told Democrats months ago that black voters, aka their supposedly liberal base, were more likely to find the president too liberal than too conservative. They also found that voters didn't just want Harris to distance herself from Biden, they wanted her to distance herself from what they believe the entire Democratic Party has become, a Portlandia sketch.
Think about that. After years of non-stop negative coverage, after court testimonies, accusations, and every headline plastered against him, Trump walks away with a majority of white women supporting him. That's like trying to sink a battleship with water balloons. Meanwhile, Democrats were losing ground in what was supposed to be one of their most loyal demographics: black voters. According to Democratic polling firm Blueprint, black voters were more likely to say Biden was too liberal than too conservative. And when it came to Kamala Harris, many wanted her to distance herself from Biden and the party that had become a full-on Portlandia sketch.
Kamala threw the environment under the bus to win the fracking vote in Pennsylvania and the automobile vote in Michigan, and then didn't win either. At the presidential debate, environment came up once, and Kamala used the opportunity to brag that we've increased domestic gas production to historic levels. And Trump, of course, called Mother Nature a childless cat lady. And now we're back to that, because the Democrat lost.
Here's where it gets painfully obvious. Instead of focusing on bread and butter issues like economic growth, public safety, and education, the DNC spent its political capital pandering to hyper-progressive cultural causes. They weren't building bridges, they were burning them. And Harris only made it worse. She tossed environmental priorities aside to chase fracking votes in Pennsylvania and auto votes in Michigan. She bragged on the debate stage about increasing domestic gas production. That didn't exactly thrill environmentalists, and it still didn't win her those states.
Try making too woke be a cancelable offense. It's important for America to have a center-left party, and for that party to be competitive. And a good first step toward that goal would be to make the voters not want to punch you in the face.
Compare that to Trump. Love him or hate him, the guy is transparent. You never have to guess what he's thinking. No scripts, no focus group doublespeak. Just Trump being Trump, for better or worse. Harris, on the other hand, came across like someone trying to do improved with a teleprompter. One day she sounded like a progressive hero. The next, like a moderate Republican. People would listen to her speeches waiting for that one solid, memorable takeaway, and usually walked away with nothing. Meanwhile, the elephant in the room, or should I say the rainbow-colored elephant, was woke culture. Maher flat out said it. Democrats need to make being too woke a cancelable offense.
I'm so mad at the Democrats is because as a voter, the issues that were important to me were democracy and the environment. And now, there's no one to champion or defend either of them because you, with your aggressively anti-common sense agenda and shitty exclusionary attitude, blew it. You lost everything. House, Senate, White House, Supreme Court, and left us completely unprotected and ready to be violated. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody!
He's not wrong. This woke crusade doesn't inspire regular voters, it annoys them. It doesn't build coalitions, it fractures them. The average American doesn't wake up thinking about pronouns. They wake up thinking about rent, grocery bills, and whether their neighborhood is safe. Democrats used to win on practical, common sense issues. Now they're running on TikTok trends. And the result? House gone. Senate gone. White House gone. Supreme Court gone. The political chessboard handed to the opposition on a silver platter. Maher summed it up. Democrats have left America completely unprotected and ready to be violated.
Shocker that the people who see everything through the lens of race and sex see their election loss as a result of racism and sexism. Yes, if only we weren't so irredeemably unenlightened, we would have elected a black president by now. Oh, what, we did? Oh, right, and then re-elected him. Maybe you missed it because it wasn't on TikTok.
And then, in classic Maher fashion, he added, "Happy Thanksgiving, everybody." You'd think losing like this would inspire humility or quiet reflection. Nope. Instead, the same people who frame everything through race and gender blamed racism and sexism. Never mind that America already elected Barack Obama twice. The truth is, 2024 wasn't just Trump's victory, it was the Democrats' self-destruction. Trump didn't have to reinvent himself. He just stayed authentic and expanded his reach. The DNC couldn't decide what they stood for, other than being against Trump. And that's not a strategy. That's a slogan. If Democrats don't change course, they're not just going to lose again. They might lose for a long, long time.